Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Top Tier Talk. My name's Elliot. I am an Arsenal fan, unfortunately, but things will hopefully improve.
No, it won't, but yeah. Okay, I'll go next. My name's Shavez. I'm a Man United fan. I'm very happy right now.
I'm Amir. I'm a Chelsea fan, and I'm sometimes happy.
Nick?
I'm Nick, and I'm a City fan, and not doing too bad.
He's a rich man.
And I'm Dan, and most depressing out of all of them, I'm a Watford fan.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, welcome to the podcast. Okay. So basically what we're going to be discussing is the Premier League results throughout each match day. Currently we are, I think, on match day 18, I think out of 38. So I think, let me get the scores up for you guys now. So if we'll start off with the main one that we, I'm presuming all saw the highlights
too.
There,
homie. We're not on match
it's
day
14. It's 14.
14. But
is it 14? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Match day 14. We start off with the main one at the start, which was obviously Liverpool 7 and Crystal Palace 0. Guys, what do you think about that?
Shock result.
Palace played well. I don't know if you watched
Palace
the game.
a good side.
They missed a lot of chances, to be fair.
You might laugh. They missed chances.
Yeah, they.
Eze is pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's
he's a better signing than like Dan James that we got. But anyways, if you watch the game, Jordan Ayew missed like 3 chances.
Oh, I know, I saw that. Yeah,
like Palace 3-0.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Now, from what I saw though as well, from like just the Crystal Palace defense, even in the first 5 minutes, I don't know who it was, but the person at the back was just mucking about with it at the back, and obviously when you're up against Mane on the left, I don't know what he's doing. He's trying to like do some like flip flaps within the back of it, and then it just kicked it against Mane. Mane went through. Like multiple times that happened throughout the back, and I'm just like, just get rid. Like you're not like top tier like Maldini. Do you know what I mean? Just relax and pass it towards the midfield. Like too many times I saw that throughout like the first 5 minutes of Palace, and you know they got punished for it in the end.
They lost 7-0. It should have been much less. It's just Liverpool were clinical, and now everyone's going to say, yeah, they're going to win the league, whatever. But it was one game. They lost 7-2 to Villa, so.
Had to bring it up.
We have no Liverpool fans here. I don't want to talk about them.
Fair enough. Yeah. What about you, Nick? What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I agree with Shavez. Like they missed about 3 or 4 good one-on-ones, and like you could see Zaha was just fuming with Ayew on one of them. Like literally, all he had to do, cut it back to the penalty spot, would have been an easy tap in, and you just saw Zaha was fuming. But yeah, should have scored more.
Amir, what do you think, mate?
I agree. Yeah, it shouldn't definitely not have been 7-0. Very unfair result. Yeah,
it happened. Dan.
Yeah, as you were saying, it's
we
the
need to know
difference
Dan's opinion on it. Well, he's championship now.
Okay. Oh yeah, because championship.
Poor guy. Yeah,
Zaha.
We've got a grudge. Poor guy.
No, as you were saying, it's the difference between a side like Palace and a side like Liverpool. The clinical nature of Liverpool and the fact that Palace don't have anyone like that in their team.
Yeah. It's kind of like a one-man team with like Crystal Palace. It seems like Zaha is like kind of like you put him in a team, for example, like Liverpool or City, and you give him that assist like from Mahrez or Bernardo Silva. You know, he's going to get those like feedings through to him, and he's definitely going to put them away. But as you said, Nick, for example, when Ayew was like clear chance to give it to Zaha, and he just absolutely screwed it up. He's bottled it, yeah. And then you know Zaha fell to the floor like when am I going to get the perfect ball to come to me and actually put it away? You know, like it just goes to show. Do you reckon?
I think it's okay.
Was that done?
Would he be as impactful at a bigger team though? Do you think? Like
he tries to leave every season. So
yeah, would he be?
I feel bad for the guy.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Because I think he will, to be fair, because look, obviously Arsenal will link with him, won't we? And then we got Nico, Pepe. Which, to be fair, at the end of the day, I think he's top tier. You know, I
don't think he's not a flop. I don't think.
Nah, I think he's decent right winger. You know, he's pulling out the bag for me. But Zaha would have been a nice signing as well, to be fair.
Yeah, let's move on.
But moving on to the next game, I think next one is Southampton 0 and City 1. Nick, what do you think about that as you're the City fan?
I just don't know what's going on with our attack. Like, I think in the last 3 or 4 games, apart from the Burnley game, it's looking like we just can't score. Like even we're not even creating chances though. But the thing I would say is that Ruben Diaz is arguably been our best player this season, and he just transformed our defence. Like, we conceded the least goals in the league, which you wouldn't really associate with us usually.
Yeah.
So it was a good away win as well.
Nice, yeah.
Given that Southampton are like top 6 this season or top 7, doing quite well, and at their ground, so it was a good away win.
Yeah, no, it's good for City, to be fair. I remember I was watching the last 10 minutes of that game, and I do recall like Sterling and Mahrez a couple of times having those like odd few chances to maybe even make it 2 or 3-0. And, you know, you could see Pep getting quite annoyed because you could make it easily 2-0, 3-0, you know.
Yeah.
There was a time I think I saw Mahrez just coming in from the right and he just clear opportunity and I think he just scuffed it. And, you know, it must get aggravating because you must have all these shots on target and then, you know, only for one to go in. And it's still a win. Don't get me wrong, it's still a win, but you still want that goal difference to... Exactly.
I think a win against Southampton, it doesn't matter how much goals you score. If you win Southampton is so good right now.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Honestly.
What do you think of Aguero, though?
It's a tough place to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think of Aguero?
Android lag, look.
We have
I was going to ask Nick's opinion on Aguero.
No, I think like wait, Amir, did you say like about Aguero?
What do you think was going to happen with Aguero? Yeah.
Well, I don't know what will happen, but the thing is, it's like, it sounds so simple to say, but when you take a man who scores 30, 40 goals a season out of your team, obviously you're going to be scoring less goals. Even it doesn't matter if he's 32, 33, whatever. He's still one of the best strikers in the league, even with the injuries he's had. On his day, you know, you've seen him put 5 past teams, so without him, you're obviously going to have less goals.
Yeah, for sure. All right, boys. Is everything cleared up for that game? No one anything else to add?
Nothing more to add to it.
No problem. Okay, next game. One quite hard for me to take in, but yeah, no, we move. Everton 2, Arsenal 1.
Elliot, wait. Are you in a relegation battle? Do you think you're in a relegation battle?
No. For me, no.
So you're Burnley just won. So
listen, we'll be alright.
Where are
We'll
they
be
now?
alright. 15th.
It's still 15th.
It's so bad, honestly. I just hate even saying that word. 15th, like.
But he's an Arsenal fan, so what's the problem? Like, do you sack Arteta? Is it the players? What do you do now?
Yeah,
Where do you go
100%.
from here?
No, yeah. For me, like nothing wrong with Arteta. You know, you can give him all the tactics, everything like that. You give him all the resources, everything like that. But then if you just give these players, like I hate to call him out, but Willian. You know, you look at his stats throughout that Everton game, you know, 0 chances created, 0 goal, like 0 shots on target. Nothing was getting created from that man. And yet we still sub off Nico Pepe. Like, for that, I don't understand it. Like, don't get me wrong, like Arteta, I love the man. You know, I back the manager 100%. I'm never going to be like Arteta out. But sometimes you've got to question those kind of tactics where you're thinking, why are you bringing off these players? For example, like, as I say, Nico Pepe, and then bringing on other players, like, just randomly like that. I don't understand it. But, you know, I can't really go back there myself, go to the Emirates and be like, right, let's say I'm in charge now. Do you know what I mean?
I bet every Arsenal fan wants to do that right now.
Yeah.
I actually feel bad. Like, usually you laugh at rivals, and Arsenal are a good team to laugh at, but it's just like, there comes a point where it's so bad. I don't think it's ever been this bad for any Chelsea, United. The seasons we had, the bad ones, have never been this bad.
No.
So it's like the rivalry's gone now. It feels like that.
It's just like, no one's really having that comedic effect of when Arsenal lose, everyone's just like, yeah, well, who would have thought, eh? Do you know what I mean? It's no surprise. Everyone's just kind of like that sarcastic, like, oh, who would have thought? You know? There's no kind of like passion there anymore. There's no like, you look at the players in our team, for example, like Tierney, Saka, like they're the young ones and they're like putting in 10 out of 10 performances. They're trying to like hold together the team. And then you get players like Willian and who just, you know, robbing the living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Nothing I can say about that game.
I want to say something about Everton, because I know everyone looks at this Everton-Arsenal game and wants to talk about Arsenal, but Everton have actually done really well.
Yeah,
they signed well. Yeah. Got a great manager.
Good side.
Not many people.
They beat Chelsea as well. Like,
I know
they are good. Do you think?
They're a scary team.
They are.
The midfield they have is incredible. Like, you come up against midfield with Allen and Decore and tell me you're not scared.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Yeah. Especially with Calvert-Lewin on form as well. You know, he's a scary striker. He's like that number 9 role that kind of it's just that in-box kind of role. Whenever someone crosses it in, like Digne, he's there. And he's quite hard to beat in the edge, an aerial threat.
I watched him, and even he was having shots from outside the box, and like he's doing everything now. You get confidence from having players like Hammers in your team.
Exactly.
It helps.
Yeah, it really does.
He wasn't playing against Arsenal either.
Well, yeah, there you go.
I don't know. It's,
Um,
a lot of their fan base is now Arteta out there, aren't they?
Yeah, but you know, it's mixed feelings,
Think
isn't
of
it?
it-
When your team's done this bad since like 1974, you're kind of like your fans are going to start asking questions, aren't they? They'll be like, well, why? What's going on behind the doors that we don't know about? Which is why we're performing so badly. Like no
you
one
get
knows.
Allegri in. Allegri is the best option, right? Technically, that's what everyone says. What would Allegri do differently with this team?
Exactly,
I don't.
exactly.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
can't see
you give
anything.
the
It's
man
toxic.
you give him the team, and what do you do with it? Who do you play? What do you buy? Do you know, like the owner
Yeah.
isn't giving him anything. The players aren't giving him anything. You know, he's just stuck there, like, oh, great. I'm with like this like kind of legacy kind of team, but what do I do with it when like half the team don't want to play for the badge? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Like,
And
for
the thing
me.
is, your last few games, you would have beat Burnley and you would have beat Southampton. It was just red cards. I feel, I am with Arteta. I'm
Yeah.
Arteta in, and
Yeah.
I will be throughout his, because I think he's a better manager than what he's being made out to be right now. He's won a trophy in his first season.
Exactly.
He's just completed a year, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
How long will that trophy be able to keep him in a job, though? You got to think if he
Well,
carries
that's
on
what he's
losing,
living
how
up to
many more
now.
losses do you give him? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And then he wins
Ask
tomorrow
Watford.
against City, and he wins the Carabao Cup, and then he's back again. So I don't know. Anyways, next game,
Yeah.
Newcastle Fulham.
Newcastle
Elliot, I
Fulham
think we might have
1-1.
to talk to you again because this is more relevant to your club.
Oh,
Newcastle. No, it's not even mugging him off. Like these are the teams. Fulham are now 4 points off of Arsenal, and they're 18.
wow.
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't really watch this game. All I saw was a red
I didn't
card
watch it.
for capping from that game. There wasn't really like something that I didn't stand out properly. Like it's a 1-1 draw. You know, Newcastle Fulham. There's no really like team that you're thinking right. These are like the outstanders kind of team that you're thinking.
Yeah. Do you think Fulham are going to get relegated?
Good result for Fulham.
Yeah.
It was a good result.
I do
Yeah.
think they're going to get relegated, yeah.
I think so.
They haven't invested properly again.
With Big Sam at West Brom as well.
Do you know Big Sam? Wait, yeah, Big Sam's never been relegated, so that was a good managerial change.
Good.
All right. There's not much to say about that game.
There isn't really, no.
So
Brighton
Brighton,
Sheffield United.
again, good point for Sheffield. But
Yeah.
Oh, but they should
Do
have
you think they're
won.
going down?
a point at this stage.
They've got less
Actually,
points than
Brighton
that
should have won.
Derby team did when that Derby team, everyone was saying about the Derby
Yeah.
team that got relegated.
Really?
They've got,
Like 4 points
6
off.
less points.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4 points
so
off when Derby were.
Jahanbakhsh missed last minute.
It's your star player,
Winner
anyway.
for Brighton. I've got to back my country, man.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Should we go to
1-1.
Tottenham?
It's just a draw. Yeah. Nothing you can say about that. You know.
Leicester.
Oh,
Get in, Leicester.
That's the one
Huge
good thing that
fan
happened
result.
for Arsenal fans this week.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? The Mourinho effects of just like get one stupid little goal and then just like get every single man. Kane at CDM, you know, what's that about? Get out,
Yeah.
honestly.
I don't think it's good football. What they play is not sustainable. And
No,
they're-
yeah.
in the long term, I don't think they're
If-
going to
if
top
they
four
go
either.
behind, they're not going to come back.
nothing.
Yeah, like for example, if Son misses his chances, the game's over. They're not going to score goals. They rely
Yeah.
on like
Yeah.
2 chances a game.
Imagine if he like gets injured, son. That's their game plan done.
It's quite likely to
Yeah.
happen, isn't it? He gets injured.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not even
Okay.
that. It's, what if they come up against a team who plays exactly the same, like Atletico Madrid? Then they're going to come on start. They're not going to know how to play the game plan because Atletico
Yeah,
love to
you
just
saw them
sit
against
back and
Leicester.
cover.
They didn't know what they were
Yeah.
doing. Like when
Exactly,
they're
yeah.
behind, they're screwed. So
exactly.
that's
You know,
really
like
the thing.
Tottenham, like I hate admitting it, but like what Tottenham are above us, of course they are. But like they're having a decent start to the season and better than us, of course. But you know, when you think going forward, like you see their kind of formation, you see like Son, they're basically saying to Son, you just stay up high and everything like that, and then just give it to Kane. And Kane's playing that number 10 role, kind of, even though he's not obviously
Yeah.
playing as it, he just sits behind Son and just dishes
They're
them
like
little,
a false 9.
yeah,
Yeah.
Or
centre forward.
like in the little role, in like the little hole between the midfield
Yeah,
and attack.
just
He's
fills
not
in.
meant to be
It worked. Like it did work at the start, but now it's figured out. Like it seems like everyone's
found
figured it
out,
out
yeah.
anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean that's the main way of gone. Of
But there is one thing I've got to bring up about Harry Kane is when, do you know, for example, a header comes in, for example, and he'll just back into it and then hope for a
Yeah.
foul. Do you know what? That gets on my nerves. It's ridiculous. You know, you see people
worse
like him
it's
go into it, and
dangerous.
it could cause. It's so dangerous, isn't it? What's the point? You know, oh, you're trying to get a foul. What? Because you can't header the ball. Like, and then he's obviously in danger because he could land on his head.
It's not even that. I've seen It's not even he can't. He tries to get the free kicks.
Yeah,
Free kicks. I think it's a
such
Mourinho
poor
thing more
football.
than
What's
anything.
the point? I hate it,
Yeah.
honestly. I don't like it. But what can you do? It's Spurs. They're awful.
I think
No,
that's something
something will
Mourinho's
happen.
got into him.
Yeah,
I
this
reckon,
is if you watch the
yeah,
documentary, yeah.
because
He
I reckon
told them to do
Mourinho
it.
was saying they need to be a bit tougher and need to start drawing fouls a bit more, being a bit more like clever. So I reckon he's told Kane to sort of try and win a foul even if it's not where he can.
Basically,
Even
stop
if
being a
it's
gimp.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Just
True.
pick up niggly free kicks. All you can do.
True. All right, moving on to the next match. United 6, Leeds 2. Chavez.
Yeah, I've got it on my face.
He's already smiling. Look at him.
Yeah, I already am. Yeah, do you know what I don't like about that game? If you watched it on Sky, they banged on about how Leeds play incredible football. They talked about Leeds more than us after the game. They've lost 6-2. They've conceded 6. They're a mess. The club. I know they play their attacking football. It's great, whatever. But at the end of the day, everyone knows what they're going to get when they play Leeds. So
Yep.
it's not the most
They're
difficult
almost
thing now
like-
playing Leeds.
Yeah, they're almost
I
like
don't know,
Wolves were when they first dominated.
I don't like it. I think Bielsa has to, if he's really the top manager he is, you don't just play one style and stick to it. What if Leeds, let's say, get in the Champions League in the future and Bielsa has to manage them in a one-off tie against Barca? He needs to know how to play a different type of football. Or else the teams will wipe them out. We just wiped them out 6-2, could have been 10. I don't know. I didn't like the way Sky approached it, personally. I don't know. But yeah, we played well. We were amazing. Scott McTominay is the best midfielder in the league.
Yeah.
He just plays so well. He's underrated. That's what he is.
He's just a unit, isn't he? He just fills in.
Yeah.
It's just that
He's
man of
a
clatters.
striker.
Anyone else?
Yeah,
What does
there's
everyone
not
think
much-
about that?
Not much more you can add to it. Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. Anyone else? What do they think?
what
United
do
are
you
quite
think?
climbing up the ladder now, aren't they? Start the season, you weren't really looking too good, and now all of a sudden, I think you're what, third, with a game in hand.
I think
So then you could
if
be,
they win the game in hand, they're 2 points off. I think Liverpool.
yeah, you could be doing well. Yeah. Fair
We're
play.
in the title race. If we're not in the title race and we get knocked out, that's our own fault. But we are in it now.
Yeah, you are. You're doing very
You
well, to
can
be
deny it
fair.
or whatever, but we are in it. Yeah.
From what you've done, like obviously
Yeah.
at the start of the season, you were in our place. You know, you lost I think your
It's
first 2 games or
though,
something
isn't
like that. So
Yeah.
you weren't doing too well, but then here you are, third in the table with a game in
Yeah.
hand. But then you could get to like joint first, is it? I'm not too sure, but
2 points behind.
there you
If we
go.
win.
Yeah, it's not too bad because then Liverpool could come up against like a City or, do you know what I mean?
All
Who
right.
knows? All right.
Yeah. Next game then.
Aston Villa 3, West Brom 0.
Well,
Yeah,
if
looks
Villa
like
have all their games in
They
hand.
got down.
Who?
West Brom.
West
Oh, I
Brom.
just said Villa. I was
No. They should have gone down last season, but that's in the past.
so you'll be playing West Brom next season.
West Brom will go. Nah, we'll be playing like Portsmouth in League One. That's just where we're going.
To be fair, do you know what it is with Villa?
Yeah.
The thing is with Villa is they're just a unpredictable team. You know, they're just so like they're doing very well at the moment. You know, they're kind of a team that they're like an Everton. They're kind of like a fifth, sixth tier like table team. But then they're like pulling out the
sometimes
cards,
they play
beating
like they're
Liverpool
the best in the
7-2.
world.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like stuff like
Beat
that doesn't go
Liverpool,
unnoticed. You know, these Liverpool fans like get reminded of it. I'm presuming every day. Poor guys. But no, they're a
Grealish.
scary team to be fair, Villa. They love their counter-attacking football. You know, Grealish is a threat. You know,
Dives a lot though.
what'd you say, Amir? Sorry.
Yeah.
He does dive a lot.
Yeah, he is a bit of a gimp.
So it's part of the game. Everyone does it now.
Everyone loves a dive, don't they? They love it.
Yeah, it's changing.
As unfortunately, it is part of the game, but he gets fouled as many times as he does, and little niggly kicks here and there. He's gonna go down and gonna fall over. It's gonna happen.
That's exactly it. All right, guys. Moving on to the last game that's just finished. Burnley 2, Wolves 1. What do you guys think about that?
Love that.
It's a good
Love
win
that.
for
You
Burnley.
love it.
Great win for Burnley.
Yeah, it was a good win for
Fantastic win for
Burnley.
Burnley. Do you know what? I'm surprised. Huh?
Wolves have faltered over the last few weeks, and then they lost to Villa.
Yeah.
I think losing Jota didn't help.
No, their front three was good with Traore, Jota, and
Very good.
Jimenez.
Traore is
No,
a
it's
real
They had a
threat.
solid team.
I don't know what's happened to Traore
I know
this year.
No, I haven't rated him, but that's another topic for another day.
You've never rated him.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
But yeah, as a club that wants to progress and get into Europe and carry on being in Europe, you're going to want to keep the team as strong as you can and keep the team that you've got together.
Yeah.
But if you're losing players here and there, admittedly for high amounts like Jota was, you need to try and keep that core.
That's true.
That's exactly it. From what I saw as well, from like I think it was like the 68th minute when I went there just to watch the TV for a bit and the Wolves game was on. Burnley were actually looking very, very like they had a lot of attack, should I say, in front of goal. Like honestly, for 5 minutes they were just on top of it. Like I know, for example, Wolves were doing real deadly like runs from Adama Traore and Podence down the wings, for example. I mean, like little rat boys, that's what you want. You want the little things they can just in and out swerve. That's all you want. But then, for example, throughout the game, you just saw it. Like Burnley had those chances. I mean, no offense to him, but like when you have like Chris Wood up top, it's not going to do it. I mean, it's not really clinical in front of goal.
He's a goal scorer, is all he is.
That's exactly it.
You need that sometimes.
I think people hate on Burnley's style, but 2 top 10 finishes in the last 2 years is ridiculous for a club like that.
Exactly. Yeah. They're doing really well. To be fair, they're doing
They're
better than us.
quite overlooked. Well, they're tough to play and tough to beat as well, and they're quite overlooked because they're just there.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They're not getting relegated, and they're not like going for top 6. They're just
there. They're just that mid-table team. They're just kind of they're an iffy team. Are you going to beat them? Or are you not? Is it going to be a draw? Is it going to be a? It's because the thing is what I see with Burnley as well is as they start, like for example, when I saw them against City, like when they start conceding, their heads drop. As soon as they know, they feel like, oh, we're going to lose. That's it. They're out the game.
But it's not even that. It's away games for them. If you can make your home ground a fortress, which is when they started off a couple of seasons ago and they were like looking to get relegated. If you can make your home ground a fortress, you can lose as many away games as you want.
Very true. Very true. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up this week. But for wrapping it up, what we've got is the Chelsea West Ham game. What are your predictions on that? As it starts in 10 minutes.
Shall I
start
go?
with
Chelsea
Shavez.
fan?
Shavez, what do you say?
It's a West Ham win for me.
Really? What do you reckon the score will be?
1-0. 1-0 at the Bridge to West Ham.
Fair enough. We'll end on the Chelsea fan, so we'll see what he says last. But Nick Riley, what do you think?
We started this week.
I reckon 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Fair enough. Daniel Brand?
I'll go for a goal first. I'll go for a 3-2 West Ham.
3-2. Wow. 3-2 West Ham. 2 wins for West Ham and a draw so far. Amir, what do you think about that? What do you reckon the score will be?
I'll back my team. I'm not confident because we've lost our last 2, but I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1
I'm
Chelsea.
going to concede first.
What do you reckon the scores will be for you?
I'll go Werner, hopefully.
Okay.
And
hopefully
a Jorginho penalty.
Nah, you want to get big boy Giroud on them. Clinical striker. Is he what?
Giroud ain't even starting, mate.
There's Tammy.
Typical Frank Lampard making bad decisions. No, joking. All right, boys. Well, that wraps it up. Thank you very much for joining us throughout this podcast. So join us next week for next week's match day talk. Take care.